Hey there everyone and welcome to yet another speed build. I was trying to make up a few different intros to this episode, but I figured I'm just too bad at it. I wanted to make like a joke over tiger toddlers, but at the end of the day it just didn't feel right. So if any one of you has got a really nice pun about tigers, you can just put that in the chat. What I'm streaming too often in the comments down below. First of all, before we go and talk about what I'm building, two things I need to talk about. First of all, a big thanks to all of you. The last couple of weeks have been amazing. The channel was undergoing a big kind of push, which is really awesome to see. I loved all of your comments. I really tried hard to answer most of them, but yeah, with having a normal job and stuff, it's not that easy. But I hope that I could answer as many questions as possible. I will continue to do this also in the videos afterwards, and yeah, this is the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is what you see already on the screen. So no, don't worry, this is not a rip-off of my tropical house, because in fact I did build this earlier than my tropical house. People were actually kind of asking how I even was able to pull this off and how I could make this like in my stream. So the truth is, I had a few minutes in the backstage recording extra, like in the end, because it was late at the evening, there was no one after me, so I had a few extra minutes and I could test some things, and they even asked me to do this to find out what the game is capable of, and I was like, you know what, I just test this game with all of the pieces available, and I was like, come on, I'm just going to build that dome and see how it turns out. But I figured it takes too long, and I was like, I need a more simple design, because as you can see, I was going for the roundish shape. I really wanted to make this kind of round dome, which I think many people will agree is the most beautiful design. I'm quite happy with the design I had in the tropical house though, so don't get me wrong, it's definitely a cool idea I had there, but this was a little bit of a training first, so I at least had an idea of how long it will take approximately, and I could change the design upon this. So I had like a little bit of a idea in my mind what to do, and I was kind of trying to calculate how long it will take me. And I have to say, the one thing I am quite good at, fortunately, this is kind of like a little bit of a gift, I'm usually quite good at planning my time. Like I have to say that this was one of my biggest issues beginning of my studies, so I needed to look into this a bit more, and I got to learn some techniques how to plan your time right. And you can basically apply this to everything. Just like build yourself a little bit of a schedule in your mind and just apply things that you do already know from experience that work kind of well, and then you can just try to calculate and estimate how long it will take you. And since we got the footage after our recording immediately, I did see how long it took me to build this enclosure over here, and I was like, so it took me like 20 minutes, and I could do this again with like a bit better idea in mind. I could do this a little bit quicker, and yeah. By the way, you saw that this game has had a little crash over here. This was a little bit unfortunate. I wanted to let you see the wonderful intro screen though. This is why I left it in. It will happen once more, unfortunately. This is also why I couldn't continue on this dome, and yeah, you can see that I'm just doing the bare minimum, because this was already after the wonderful recording session I did already with Laura, and I just wanted to build this enclosure, and that's the reason why I decided to just throw in some staff members that can, take care of all the problems. And yeah, the cool thing is, and this is why I decided to leave all this footage in, first of all, we have some footage for the time I'm just explaining a few things over here, and second of all, you can actually see how some of the mechanics in the game apply to build really quickly. So you've seen over there that I was just plopping down the fence to the one side of the enclosure, and I was building like a water hole to the other side, and using the invisible fences. I think you've seen this by now. Also, I put down the wrong gate over there, just not saying right now, but I put down the track right gate. I wanted to build a track right in this scenario, but unfortunately, since the game crashed, I didn't have any time left to do it in the end. I have also to say that I missed out on the Asian elephant. I don't even know if it's in the animal menu over here or not, but I found this in one of my recordings and I was super mad that I was missing out on this one, simply because it is already in the park or in the zoo, and my biggest issue was that I just didn't I just literally haven't seen them. I just skipped over them. The problem is, if you're in such a hype situation and you are kind of under pressure, time pressure, you obviously try to do whatever you just planned to do, and yeah, this is kind of the main issue that I had while doing so. And yeah, apparently I think in the end of the day, it was a good choice that I just went for this little build I am doing right now. So the idea about this build is that I wanted to have a little bit of a tiger enclosure, which is walkable. Like this one thing that people usually wouldn't do with their tigers, but apparently I think this is a great idea to do, just for the testing reasons, I guess. But you will see in a bit how this turns out, and yeah, then we can talk about what I was doing there. So first of all, as always, I did throw down some of the elements that are needed, but then I decided to just go on with the normal gameplay and just build whatever is needed to be built to make this enclosure work. And I can promise already, this is the last time. We have no more crash happening. This is now the footage you wanted to see, and which is shown already in the wonderful screenshot. Yeah, let me just talk you through this a little bit. So first of all, you can see that the path smoothing works perfectly fine. And also, I will put down some more shops and stuff, which is badly needed to make sure that the people will come to the point in the park where you decide to make this walkable enclosure. At a later stage, when I have the tiger in here, it works that way, that people come. So I think you can even compare this a little bit to the rides in Planet Coaster. The more exciting the animals are, the more likely it is that people will go there. So once you're planning out your zoo, it is highly recommendable that the most exciting animals are located in a way that your guests have also to pass the, I don't want to call them less exciting animals, because every animal is wonderful in their own kind of way. But the thing is, not everyone likes the same animals. And I think, for example, big cats amongst the majority of the humankind is very much loved, while some other things like, I don't know, a crocodile or crocodilians or whatever, they are less liked and less loved by the majority. That's, I'm not saying that they're not loved at all, but the majority of people, they would prefer seeing a big cat rather than a crocodilian or a peafowl, because peafowls are very much known, and people see them as nothing too special. So that's one of those things you want to consider while planning out your zoos, and this is one thing I didn't consider in here. But to be fair, I only had these kind of animals available for making the walkable exhibit. So I have, for example, and the peafowl over here, and I also got a warthog, for example, but warthogs already are kind of a mixed mesh. Some people walk in, some don't, because if the warthogs are, if they're happy, it seems that people walk in. If they're not that happy, people seem not to walk in, because the warthogs are more likely to attack them. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't be doing this. But yeah, you basically have the tortoises to use it. You have the lemurs, and you have to. You can also use the peafowls, obviously. I didn't use the lemurs, obviously, because it is a little bit hard to create an enclosure or a habitat in a few minutes without building, non-climbable walls and all that kind of stuff. So I really like that it is sometimes easier to build an exhibit or a habitat for, animals that are way easier to maintain. And some other animals, they just need a lot more work for their habitat, which is absolutely realistic, because monkeys and primates, they are so much more likely to escape, while smaller animals like tortoises and stuff, they don't create a big challenge for you. They are just there existing. You need to make them happy by just giving them food and some enrichment items, but this is mainly all about it. And that's why I think also the excitement about them is a little bit less. Yeah, one more thing I wanted to talk about, you have seen this, is this little bit, I talked quite a lot about this already. This is what I was showing Laura, that the buildings in Planet Zoo have this negative radius of influence. As you can see, the one building is a bit more violet or purple, while the other one was red. This is down to the fact that one building is covered in scenery while the other one isn't. However, it doesn't really matter where the scenery is, because the scenery around here, you can see I have this bare-born building and the completely covered building, and I figured in the end that it totally is down to the scenery that is in the radius. It doesn't matter if you hide the staff building away properly, or if you're just having some random scenery around. It just does matter how much of scenery is around to lower down the influence of the radius. But yeah, the reason why I was actually paying some attention on these little small exhibits over there was, first of all, to check out the Goliath rock, but second of all, I did want to understand why no guests are coming over here, because remember, this is the first time I made a walkable exhibit. This was really, I think it was even my first ever gameplay in this game, because it was on Wednesday already that I had my backstage recording, and I haven't even streamed by this time, so that's the reason why I was testing a few more things in here that I could use then in the stream. So sometimes, you know, there are just some happy little coincidences why you are able to deliver some more stuff than what I would have done without this wonderful, you know, little chance to play with in day in advance. So yeah, but now the last thing I'm going to do is, oh yeah, I tested Tagit Cam. Fortunately, Tagit Cam worked, so we could spot this dead peafowl. But yeah, the last thing I'm doing is to put a tiger in. You will see that in a few seconds the tiger is delivered, and with the tiger being delivered, you will see that the guests come. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest, because it's a little bit the same with the coasters and Planet Coaster. So if the coaster is really exciting, people will go there no matter if the queue is filled or not. The same goes with the tiger. So the guests think, oh wow, there is the tiger, let's go there. But all of a sudden, when they open the gate, you will see in a bit, they're like, you know, I'm out here, I'm out of here. You know, this is just pretty funny. They just go in and like, you know, no, I don't do this. So yeah, I think I hope that they do fix it. If the habitat is not suitable, they shouldn't go there. Anyways, that's it with this little speed build, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. And you can go now with the image of this lovely baby tapir. Have a good one, and bye guys. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you appreciate that, and now a special thanks also to all the people supporting me here on that channel, making this all possible. You can see that on the left hand side right now, and also if you want to see more of my stuff, make sure to click that card on the right top now, and if you want to stick around, make sure to hit that sub button which is on the bottom right of the screen. If you want to see stuff on my social media, sneak peeks and stuff like that, it is on the bottom left on the screen. And yeah, I hope to see you again in the next episode. Until then, enjoy your time guys, and bye!